Today I'm sharing 3 great books for entrepreneurs and leaders. I've read some really great books over the past couple months, and today I want to share 3 that I think are really great ones for every entrepreneur and leader. Number 1, How I Built This by Guy Raz. You may know about Guy because he is an award-winning journalist and host of the incredible podcast called, can you guess? How I Built This. I was so excited to hear that he wrote this book because I'm a fan of his work and love the podcast. What's cool about the book is that he takes some of the most interesting interviews and stories from his podcast and turn them into this book. So it's perfect for someone who doesn't listen to podcasts but wants to hear all of the really great stories and lessons. Although, why are you not listening to podcasts? You may want to reconsider your life choices. Just saying. If you love hearing stories about how founders start and grow their businesses, you will love this book. Guy shares some of the common themes he's identified in what makes a great founder after interviewing over 200 successful entrepreneurs. He shares the story of Whitney Wolfe Herd, the founder of the popular dating app Bumble. Prior to starting Bumble, she was actually working with Tinder, but ended up having a horrible experience and exit. In fact, she said she would never be part of that kind of business again. So hearing her journey on how she ended up starting yet another dating app is really inspiring. Another one of my favorite stories is Stacey Madison and Mark Andrus, the founders of Stacey's Pita Chips. Selling pita chips was definitely not their original brilliant idea. They actually had a sandwich cart, but because they listened to their customers and got creative, they were able to build an incredible brand and business. What I love so much about this book is how inspiring it is. We learn about normal, everyday people that simply had an idea. We all have ideas, but not everyone is courageous enough to start. These people have fascinating stories. They gave themselves permission to start, to try. They didn't have everything all figured out. They didn't have all the answers. They had no idea the journey they were about to embark on. They all dealt with challenges and obstacles along the way, but no matter what, they just kept going. They figured it out. They were innovative, creative, and resilient. They believed in their ideas, in themselves, their teams, and their customers. There are so many great lessons to learn in this book. I really, really enjoyed it. Number 2, Think Like a Billionaire by James Altucher. Well, look at that. I guess I'm sticking with my theme of podcasters. I am a big fan of the James Altucher Show. He has actually written a number of different books over the years, including Choose Yourself and Reinvent Yourself. So you can see there's a little bit of a theme going on there. This book is similar to How I Built This in that James shares some of his most popular interviews of successful people. For example, one of my favorite entrepreneurs, Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. I just love her. Not only does she have an incredible story about how she built Spanx, but she just seems like such a really cool, down-to-earth human. She cares so much about giving back and helping others be successful. He also talks to Damon John, founder of Fubu, and of course, one of the sharks on Shark Tank. It's so cool to hear directly from successful people about all the challenges and triumphs they went through to get to where they are today. James talks to Peter Thiel, Ev Williams, and Tony Robbins, among all of the other impressive entrepreneurs that he gets to talk to in this book. After each interview, James shares just a few of his favorite takeaways from each interview. So this book is really fun to listen to because you get to hear the actual interviews of these really awesome humans. And number 3, Rising Strong by Brené Brown. Okay, I hate to admit this, but this is the first Brené Brown book I've read, which is crazy because I have been a huge fan of hers for years. Like many people, I discovered her through her famous TED Talk, The Power of Vulnerability. She is a research professor at the University of Houston. She's spent the past 2 decades studying courage, vulnerability, shame, and empathy. I really don't know why it took me so long to read one of her books, considering I think she is absolutely fabulous, but I'm really glad I finally did. The reason I love her work and this book, Rising Strong, is how vulnerable she is. She shares so many incredible stories throughout her life that help us understand the importance of emotion, the power of rising up when we fall. As leaders, we need to be resilient. We need to be self-aware and help others do the same. It's important for us to provide space for our team to share their ideas and to let them be vulnerable at times too. One of the most powerful takeaways from the book is her Rising Strong process. It's 3 parts. First, we reckon. We recognize our emotions and get curious about why we're feeling them. Then we rumble. We get really honest about the stories we've made up about our struggles and what we need to do to change. And then we wage a revolution. We write a new ending to our story based on what we've learned about ourselves and our emotions. So we get to create a story where we are brave and courageous, which ultimately helps us live a more fulfilling and satisfying life. I just love Brené Brown, and this book is really powerful. I really enjoyed all 3 of these books and think any leader who reads them will receive a lot of value. One of the best things about reading great books is their power to transform the way we think, to shed light on certain things going on in our lives. Have you read any of these books? I would love to hear what you got out of them, so comment below and let me know. And hey, if you have a great book recommendation, share those as well. I am always looking for great books to read. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please like it and hey, share it with someone who you think might find it valuable as well. Thanks so much for watching. I'd love to invite you to subscribe to my channel so we can stay connected. I will see you next time.